All right, Bitcoin has got a bit of a pump today, and I do want to talk about this a little bit, but the main focus of this video is going to be, number one, me talking about this milestone that we just hit on my channel. We have just passed 1,000 subscribers. That is awesome. That is a milestone that I wasn't sure I would ever hit when I started this channel. And shout out to E2 for being my 1,000th subscriber and for leaving a comment about it. I appreciate that. And in this video, I kind of want to do something different, something that I try to do from time to time, but I don't think I've been doing enough of. I want to reflect on, this journey that I've been on when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to trading and technical analysis, because, I've been doing this for a little bit now. I'm still relatively young in the game, but I think that I've come a long way. And looking back on it, maybe I've made more progress than I even thought was possible, even though I'm still a long way from where I ultimately want to end up. And I think it's good to reflect on the journey because, one of the main reasons that I started doing this channel and the reason that I make the videos I make is because I recognize there's a lot of people on a similar journey as I am. And I know that there's a lot of new people coming to my channel, a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new people watching my videos. So a lot of you might not know a lot of this stuff, might not have watched this journey as I've been, making these videos for the past few years. So I kind of want to, go over my story a little bit, go over where I'm at now, and maybe come up with some plans for what I want my channel to look like in the future. So like I said, when I started my YouTube channel, probably about 3 years ago now. I think I started my channel in the summer of 2021. That would be about 2.5 years at this point. I can actually maybe double check that. And yeah, when I go to my lifetime analytics, I made this channel on June 13th, 2021. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for about 2.5 years now. And when I started my YouTube channel, basically, I had no idea what I was doing. I treated my YouTube channel just like I treated crypto when I first got into it, even though I don't like that saying at all. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of dove headfirst into it. That's the way that I learn. I learn by doing. I learn by just trying stuff, making mistakes, seeing what works and what doesn't work, and just as time progresses through practice and persistence, I try to get better, try to constantly improve, and basically come up with a plan as we go along. That's kind of how I do things. And it was right around the time that I started my channel that I actually first started trading. I had gotten into crypto in the winter time of 2020. So, kind of right as the bull market was starting. I was kind of a little late to the bull market. But yeah, that was the first time I ever saw a crypto YouTube video. So, by the time I started my channel, it had maybe only been 6, 7 months since I, first ever looked at a chart. So, when I started my channel, I had no idea what videos to make. I was basically just copying crypto YouTubers, just trying to, see what works. And eventually I came to the realization that that was not sustainable. I needed to actually learn a skill and become good at it if I was going to provide any sort of value with my YouTube videos. And so, maybe a few months after I started my YouTube channel and I, was just messing around for a while, just kind of posting whatever I wanted to post, I made the decision to focus on technical analysis. And, that is also when I started trading and trying to take, trading and learning how to trade more seriously. And it was at this point that, I really started watching some other YouTubers, and, specifically I started watching Jason Casper. And I have to give a big shout out to Jason Casper because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't be doing this. I don't know that I ever would have found a path that I could be confident in if it wasn't for him. So I have to say shout out to Jason Casper and, for all the other traders that I've been learning from. Shout out, the traders in his VIP Discord, White Phoenix, Boyan, Capex, all people that I've learned tons from. And so basically for the last 2 years, I have been, practicing, fine tuning my skills, gaining experience, and all the while trying to figure out how I can make YouTube videos based off of my own thoughts and my own analysis, And like I said in one of my videos a few weeks ago, I can't remember which one it was, but it has been a bit of a challenge to separate what I put on YouTube from my own, personal trading, my own personal plans based on a lot of things that I can't share on YouTube. Especially since right now I'm really putting a lot of focus on developing my personal trading even further. I've been learning new strategies. I've really been focusing specifically on White Phoenix's approach to trading, which, shout out to White Phoenix. He's an amazing trader. Also, one of the traders in Jason Casper's VIP Discord. So I've, been putting a lot of my time towards that, and I have not been putting as much time towards my YouTube channel. But as time goes on and, I realize that YouTube is really something that I want to continue to pursue. I want to, expand the type of content that I make. And so I really would like to start putting more time into YouTube and, really start figuring out what's the kind of content that I want to focus on. And I'll stop the rambling here shortly, but, real quick, I'll kind of mention a few things that I would like to do, ideally in the near future on my channel. One of which is live streaming. I would like to start live streaming at some point. There are some roadblocks which, at the present moment, are preventing me from live streaming, but those are things that I can, hopefully figure out soon. So I want to expand on my content in the coming year. Ideally, I'd like to figure out what people like to watch the most. But yeah, I think the next big step for my channel is live streaming, which hopefully that will happen soon. But anyways, I think I'm done rambling, and if I could just end off on one message, I'd say, in a lot of ways, I'm like most of you watching, most likely. I'm thriving to get better. I'm still learning and improving on my skills as an analyst and as a trader. I very much am still a student in this game. Okay, so now that we're through with that, I suppose we can talk about the charts a little bit. Yeah, we recently got a pump. I mean, we just took out this significant high here. Now, in my last video that I posted, which was a few days ago, I did mention that I was potentially looking for shorts at the high end of this range. And, specifically, I was looking for, maybe a SFP of this wick here into some of the resistance that we had in this little range. And, we did get a move up there today. We did stall out there a little bit, but I kind of want to go through what I was seeing on Market Cypher that made me hesitant to short this zone in specific, even though this was a zone I was watching, pretty closely for a trade. I'd say in terms of shorts, I wanted to see an SFP of this level. And, if not, then the next best level would have been this high over here. And I did actually end up taking a little short scalp from this high when we made our way up here. It was just a low time frame scalp because we did stall out there a little bit, and I did take a little bit of a loss. It was just a scalp loss, so I took a very small risk on it. Not worried about that at all. So I did, make a few posts in this journal, basically going over what I was seeing as price made its way up to this high that I was looking at, and the main thing that I noticed was the high time frames on Market Cypher were not looking that bearish. We were seeing money flow continuing to put in higher highs on this 4 hour. It was looking pretty strong. We even saw momentum putting in a local higher high, meaning that there were no bear divs from here to here. So that was the first thing I saw. The 4 hour was not looking bearish as we made our way up to that high. The 2 hour was not really looking that bearish either. The money flow was putting in a higher high. If you look to the left, this dotted line got above this previous wave. We maybe were seeing some, potential bear divs and momentum there, but because the money flow was putting in a higher high, I was not putting a lot of weight on the potential for a bear div here. I really would have only cared about this if we saw money flow locally putting in a lower low, because I typically prioritize money flow over the momentum waves. The 1 hour time frame was looking pretty similar. It was locally putting in a higher high in money flow. Still, could be decreasing from back here at the time. And actually, we may actually have some bearish divs with money flow. We'll have to take a look at that in a second because we have now actually taken out this high. But, locally, 1 hour money flow putting in a higher high as well. The momentum wave was looking a bit hesitant to print a red dot. You can tell by the way the VWAP was starting to curve outwards right here. So, all in all, I was not feeling super confident about a short from that specific level. I also looked at the daily time frame, and, again, we got a outward curved VWAP on the daily. I know it's a bit hard to see. I can maybe open this in the browser and zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, so yeah, taking a look at the yellow part, I know it's a little hard to see, but the yellow part came down and then basically held support on the 0 line, started this outward curve back to the upside. The momentum wave did not clip off here like, it kind of looked like it was going to. It just continued to the upside. And yeah, it looked like the daily momentum wave had some more room to run to the upside. So all in all, we were not seeing the bearish signs at that key level that I wanted to see. And because of that, I basically said that, hey, I may still look for short scalps in this area based on the local range that we were trading in at the time, which was, this little range. If I saw a reason to take a short scalp around the high of this range, which, there technically could have been a valid trade here. We had a momentum div as we took out the high, but it was not with money flow. Money flow put in a higher high, so I didn't really trust that at the time. Plus, it was too quick for me to take a trade anyway. But yeah, I wasn't really considering a short in that area as much as I was previous, just because I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see. And I thought that there was a chance that price tries to push higher. So that was my analysis at 11:40 a.m. this morning, and pretty soon after, this was the next update I posted at 1:36 p.m. We had taken out the high. So yeah, we did not end up getting a retrace from this level. And basically, the thing that kept me out of shorting this zone was the fact that high time frame money flow was looking pretty bullish. So now we can take a look at where things are at now. The 1 hour money flow has gotten a significant move to the upside. Still is technically a potential bear div here. If you look at this previous wave, the dotted line is still lower, so we have still, at least at this point, put in a lower high, but money flow does not look like it's turning over just yet. It's still moving up aggressively. And yeah, I would not hold my breath for this to be a bear div. It looks like the money flow will probably continue increasing. The 2 hour money flow has gotten above all of these, most recent waves. Now, there is still technically a bearish div from back here. So that is definitely a possibility. I would, not be surprised if we ended up forming a bear div in terms of the money flow from back here when we kind of started forming this larger range. And we can kind of see that bear div on the 4 hour as well. But the 4 hour money flow does still look pretty bullish just in terms of this move to the upside. If I zoom in here, it is, aggressively making higher highs at this point. It seems like, it is on this almost parabolic move to the upside. Who knows when it's going to stop? Maybe it actually kind of voids these bear divs and gets a move above there before it tops out. It is hard to tell at this point. So I'd say in general, it may be too early to tell if we're going to get bear divs with the money flow here. And, at this point, I mean, we have closed a 4 hour candle above this high. We could maybe wait and see how this daily close looks. There's the potential that we dump back down and close the daily candle below this high because we do have 3 hours until this daily candle closes. But, it looks like we're probably going to get a, significant break of this, larger range, which the high would have been extended to this wick. And if we do that, then I would probably think that we're going to make our way up to some of the more key resistance above us, like, this golden pocket value area high range, which is right around here. We have the value area high of this previous range back here, like the bull market range. These are all resistances that I talked about in one of my previous videos, which I think was this video right here. I can't actually remember right now. But I talked about these resistances in one of my previous videos. And, it looks like we may be making our way up to those, like somewhere around the 48.5 to, 52K region, I would probably expect if, we continue with this bullishness, which it looks like we probably will. Now, the daily time frame is potentially setting us up for some bear divs with money flow and momentum. Money flow has come down a good bit, so has momentum. And it looks like we may be setting ourselves up for some daily bearish divergences if we make our way up here. Maybe we don't reject right away. Maybe we range in this zone for a little bit. But, I would expect this zone to give us some pretty heavy resistance. Talking about my more macro bias, I still think we should at some point get a retracement. Maybe we reject from the value area high. Maybe we even get above it for a little bit and kind of deviate it and maybe try and come back down later. But I have to say, I think the least probable outcome from this would be us just pumping up and taking out the highs. Now, hey, maybe Bitcoin wants to do the least probable scenario, kind of just throw everyone off. I don't think a lot of people are expecting the all-time high anytime soon. I think most people expect a retracement because that's kind of what's logical at this point based on how we came up. So I'm not considering anything impossible here, but I am looking for the next signs of macro bearishness to potentially short Bitcoin down for this larger retracement. That's kind of been my bias for a while now. Maybe I was biased towards the downside a little bit too early because we've just continued to pump to the upside, but that's how I view things right now. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this video up. I think I've talked long enough. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. All of that helps to support my channel, and I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.